Why strong souls are born into toxic families. A Jungian perspective. Have you ever wondered why the most emotionally intelligent, spiritually attuned souls are often born into the most dysfunctional families? Why the deeper your sensitivity runs, the more rejected you feel, especially by those who are supposed to love you the most. These are not random life experiences. They are initiations. In this video we're going to explore why strong souls are born into toxic families, not from a place of blame, but through the lens of depth psychology, trauma healing, and Carl Jung's insights on individuation and the shadow. We'll uncover how growing up in emotional chaos can actually awaken the soul, why the black sheep in the family often holds the most spiritual significance, and how pain, when met with awareness, can become one of our greatest teachers. You'll also learn how to break free from generational patterns, and how to stay spiritually grounded even in environments that don't support your growth. By the end of this video, you'll see your pain, your past, and your purpose in a whole new light. Before we begin, make sure to subscribe to the Mental Dose channel and join our Telegram community for early access to powerful content on personal and spiritual growth. Let's begin. Carl Jung believed the family isn't just a place of comfort. It is the first psychological and spiritual environment we must navigate, and for many, it becomes the first battlefield. In a dysfunctional family system, children are often forced into roles that suppress their authenticity. The sensitive child is called dramatic, the intuitive one is dismissed, the truth teller is shamed. Jung called these internalized roles complexes, wounds of the psyche that remain buried until brought to light. But Jung didn't see these early wounds as failures. He saw them as invitations. The chaos you were born into wasn't meant to destroy you. It was the pressure needed to awaken something deeper inside you. In families where truth is denied, you felt it. In systems built on illusion, your awareness was the first light breaking through. Growth doesn't begin in safety, it begins in contrast. And for many, that contrast sparks a quiet, lifelong search. When love feels conditional and safety unreliable, the psyche starts reaching, beyond family, beyond approval, towards something higher. This is why so many spiritually sensitive people describe feeling different even as children. Like old souls in young bodies. It isn't fantasy, it's a psychological adaptation. The soul begins an inner pilgrimage, returning not to approval, but to truth. Most people see trauma as something to erase. But in depth psychology, trauma is not the end of the story, it's the beginning of a deeper one. Modern voices like Dr. Gabor Mate and Bessel van der Kolk have shown how early emotional pain disconnects us from our authentic selves. But Jung went further. He believed that when trauma is faced with consciousness, it activates the soul's journey toward wholeness. Growing up in emotional chaos forces you to question reality early. You become emotionally vigilant. You start asking questions others fear. That hyper-awareness is not dysfunction, it's the beginning of individuation. While others sleepwalk through inherited patterns, you woke up early. Not because pain made you special, but because pain made you aware. And awareness is the first step in returning to your soul. Now let's talk about the black sheep, the sacred outsider. In every toxic family, someone is cast out, not always physically but emotionally. They question too much, they feel too deeply. They refuse to conform. That person is not weak. In Jungian terms, they are carrying the family shadow, the denied, disowned parts of the collective psyche. The scapegoat is often the most conscious member, but this isn't punishment. It's a sacred task. To hold the shadow is to see it, and to see it is to break the cycle. You were not meant to blend in. You were meant to confront what others avoid. Once you begin to see through these inherited roles, a shift happens. You reclaim your story. And often, the first step is a boundary. In toxic families, boundaries are seen as betrayal. But in truth, they are the shape of your selfhood. When you say, no, not from anger but from clarity, you're not turning away from love. You're turning toward your own center. This is where Jung's concept of individuation comes to life. It's not about rejecting others, it's about becoming whole within. From that wholeness you no longer chase validation. You stop absorbing projections from people who never faced their own wounds. You are no longer available for guilt disguised as loyalty. Sensitivity becomes wisdom. Empathy becomes discernment. And your soul begins to lead, not from pain, but from presence. And now, we reach the final threshold, where healing becomes legacy. Jung taught that the true self emerges only after a confrontation with the unconscious. If you've survived emotional exile, spiritual gaslighting, or generational shame, you've already walked through fire. But this is not the end. This is the beginning, with purpose. Your pain prepared you for something greater than survival. It prepared you to become a blueprint for a new way of being. What you were doing by refusing to carry inherited dysfunction. It's not just personal healing. It's collective evolution. You were never meant to heal in isolation. Your truth resonates. Your story becomes medicine. Even if those who hurt you never apologize, your peace doesn't depend on them. Because you've already broken the chain. You're not here to repeat the pattern. You're here to end it. With presence, with clarity, and with love. If you've made it this far, hear this. You are not broken. You are not behind. You are not too much. You are not too much. You are exactly where your soul intended you to be. What you've lived through didn't disqualify you. It prepared you. And now the choice is yours. Will you rise? Not just for yourself, but for those who will come after you. If this message resonated, leave a comment and share which part of your story you reclaiming.